Okay, okay. Wale Nyasaye wadoko ni erokamano maduong' ahinya kuom miyo mich mar ngima, kuom telo ne oganda ni kaka wan oganda joluo. Wadoko erokamano ni wadwa chako meeting, ino mondo itelwa, mondo weche duto mabiro wacho ka, waketgi e tim kendo wati kodgi. Wakwayo kata jogo mapok obiro ma join meeting, mondo gi join, mondo meeting obiro bet smooth. Mago duto wakwayo nikech Kristo nogo ruodhwa. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Now, for the sake of those in the diaspora, it is possible that not everybody will understand the law very well. So I will request
Yes.
that we will be mixing. Ambassador, philosopher, Dr. Johannes, how are you?
Mm.
How are you? Please say hi to us. Because this is your meeting, remember? This is your meeting. We can't hear. Are you speaking? Now, if you want us to see you, can you face the window uh, instead of the window being behind you? Can you face the window? Can you turn around and face the window instead? Light should be in front of you, not behind you. Let's have light in front of you, not behind you, so that we are seeing you. You see the way Wycliffe is so clear. Yeah, people should see you. Yeah, stand, maybe sit against a wall. I don't know why. Yeah, somehow. But you're not very clear. Dr. Asewe, unmute yourself. Ambassador, we can't hear you. Are you speaking? Maybe you need to increase the volume.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Now we can hear you so clearly. Thank you so much. You're breaking. You're breaking.
Hello, coordinator.
Yes, please. So let me start off as you try to fix your, is it a phone you are using or a laptop? We can't hear you clearly. Allow me to start off. Greetings, beloved members of the Luo Community Development Worldwide Union and our distinguished partners where I belong, the Global Alliance for Sustainability in Education. It is with deep joy and gratitude that I welcome each one of you to this important gathering, our special ESD stakeholders meeting centered on the theme Luo Community Biodiversity and Cultural Education for Sustainable Development, reviving indigenous knowledge and biodiversity for a sustainable future. So today we do not want just to meet. This is the initiation of a very important movement going forward. We reconnect with each other, with our roots, and with the possibilities of a brighter future shaped by the wisdom of our ancestors and the innovations of today. We gather not just to talk, but to build, to weave a new narrative for our communities rooted in who we are and where we have come from. Let us begin this session with the spirit of unity and commitment to action and the hope of transformation. Already on the WhatsApp wall, we have seen what we can do. We have seen the kind of people that we have. And it is very clear that all of us are prepared and geared towards seeing a difference in our community and being part of this difference, making it work for everyone, for the good of our generations, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, who don't know much about basically our culture, that is our traditions. It is important for our children to get to know this. And so I will request that sometimes let us allow our grandchildren or children to sit next to us as we do these conversations. The work we do here today is part of something far greater, a legacy that will ripple through generations. What happens when we blend indigenous knowledge with modern development goals? What does a sustainable Luo community look like in the 21st century and beyond? These are the two questions we shall begin to explore today. I'm actually honored to co-facilitate this session alongside our revered thought leader and philosopher, Dr. Odhiambo Sir Makadol, whose passion and vision continue to shape the Lukode journey. Let's begin with brief introductions. Kindly open your mic. We are only 4 to start off this journey. Tell us your name, your country of origin, of course it's Kenya, your area of work or interest, what you like doing, what is your passion, because this will help us build a stronger connected network as we journey together. So let us start with Wycliffe Oko.
Thank you so much. My real name, I'm using a Wycliffe's account, but my real name is Joseph Ogadagor.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Ogadagor is from Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher, primary school, and I'm an elder, Blue Council of Elders member. I belong to family clan of Gor Mahia. I hope you've heard of Gor Mahia.
Yes, we do know Gor Mahia clan.
That is my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to join you.
Mm-hmm.
My interest mainly is matters to do with politics. I like listening to political issues and maybe other cultural issues, local cultural issues.
Okay.
Otherwise, thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Let's go to Dr. Asewe. Please unmute yourself, Daktari. Our leader, probably you could just take it up. Ambassador, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes,
members.
hello. Yes.
How are you today, this Sunday?
We are doing well indeed.
Wonderful. We are happy. Like men are very happy today because today is Father's Day.
Wow,
we
congratulations. Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is secretary there? Dr. Udura?
Yes, he's here. Yeah, let him introduce himself, then you will continue.
Yes.
Okay. Are you getting it now?
Yes, you are very clear.
I'm very clear.
Yeah, you're clear now.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Secretary General.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Andrew Asewe. I'm from Kenya, Kisumu County, and I'm very glad to meet you this evening. I'm the Secretary General of Kode, and I like just to say hi to everyone as we speak. I know we have a lot to explore. My area of passion is entrepreneurship, economics, and research.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Ambassador, now the baton has come to your end.
Hey, there's a problem with members. Why is the systems? They are asking why is the system showing preparing to enter?
Why? Let them click.
The machine.
Tell them to click
Sorry?
on the link. Maybe they are bundles. Maybe they don't have enough bundles. This one is always open. I don't close it. I don't have restrictions to it. You just click the link and join.
Even myself, I saw it. I saw it coming to my phone.
Try again. Tell them to try again. Probably it is the network where they are, because we've been here with Wycliffe for a very long time.
So Paulini.
Yeah.
Paulini.
Waambie wajaribu tena.
Secretary can read us the recorded speech.
Okay, I'm going to do, I've recorded this meeting, so I will share the recording with you. So people can again listen to what we are discussing.
Very good. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
That I was to raise it.
Okay. So you don't have to worry. You are taken care of.
God bless.
Yeah, in Swahili they say palipo wa mama maneno haiharibiki.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So as you sort out what you are sorting out, maybe
I'm just communicating the purpose.
okay, just tell them to join the meeting. Now, to start with, we want to start with a reflective thought. When we talk about education for sustainable development, we must always begin with the roots, our culture, our environment, and the knowledge of our people. What do people know about the Luo? What do people know about the Luo culture? Today's conversation invites us to revisit the richness of the Luo community and ask, how can our traditions, biodiversity, and the way of life guide the world towards sustainability? You know, as Luos, we are very powerful. We are a very powerful community. And if you look at the history of Kenya, we are ranked highly. So the generations that we have at the moment and the generations to come, are they able to uphold our position, especially not just in Kenya, but globally? That is why now I am here to bring on board the people in the diaspora, the Luo people in the UK, Canada, Australia, USA, name them, South Africa, wherever they are. We are now starting this journey of bringing Luos together so that we can have this conversation, if possible, every Sunday. So that whoever missed last Sunday will now be catching up the following Sunday as we review what we have already done and bring everybody, every Luo on board, because we want our strength to be felt again. Education for sustainable development is a way of life. And that is why we thought that it is important for the Luo community to be conversant with what we are doing, how to live with the people that we live with, and how to live with everything that God has blessed us with, the plants, the animals, the surfaces, the air, water, everything. So when we are talking about the biodiversity, we are talking about how can we connect? How can we appreciate everything that is in our hands? Because ESD is not just about going to school and getting a certificate. It is about learning how to live in ways that ensure our environment, our societies, and our economies remain healthy for for how we do things today and for the generations to come. Now, when we are talking about education for sustainable development, we have three pillars. The first pillar is environmental integrity. How do we take care of the environment? Yeah? The way it usually likes flooding in our land. What can we do to reduce the flooding? How do we take care of the environment? How many trees have you planted as an individual? How many trees have you planted as a corporate? The other pillar is social well-being. How do we relate with other people? How do we relate with people within our nuclear families? How do we relate with people in our extended families? How do we relate with people in our communities? How do we relate with people outside our communities? Now we have gone global. That is why we are having people in the diaspora. How do people in the diaspora relate with people back at home? And then the other pillar is economic prosperity. This is very important. For us to thrive, our pockets must be healthy. What are we doing to put money in our pockets? What are we doing to help our children put money in their pockets? Yeah? If we look at these three pillars, then we are going to build a strong culture going forward. Our elders, our land, our proverbs, all that will come back to life. What they taught us, all these principles were there actually before, even today. Before we had the global goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 of them, some of us may be knowing about the 17 goals of sustainability. Some of us might not be knowing about the 17 goals of sustainability. And now this is the platform because Luos are bright people. We are very talented. We are gifted. Yeah, the brain. We used to eat a lot of fish when we were growing up because we believed that when you eat fish, you become very bright. And that is why most of us were always number one, number one, number one. And the others were following. It didn't just take like it was luck. No, we are very bright people. Now, the Luo community diversity and cultural education is very, very important. When we look at biodiversity, we are talking about what we have around us, from Lake Victoria to our sacred forests, our ecosystem, which holds plants, animals, and natural systems that are both life-giving and spiritually significant. How do we protect these as part of our cultural heritage? How do we protect this? Now, when we come to cultural education, we will have to look at our language. Some of us have eroded our language. Like, I don't want to talk Doluo because I will not talk the right things. So what are we going to do about reviving the love for our language, our songs, our stories, communal practices? Because these things language, songs, stories, communal practices carry very deep lessons about harmony with nature, sharing resources, conflict resolution, and resilience. These are educational tools for sustainability. And then we will have to look at indigenous knowledge. What the elders know about rain, what the elders know about rain patterns, herbs, land rotation, and fishing seasons. This is knowledge that we must protect. Have we written books around this? Let's document this. Yeah? Dr. Asewe talked about him loving research. Daktari, have you done research around what has been documented about our
Yes,
rain patterns, our herbs, our fishing
yes,
seasons, land rotation, and all that? Yeah?
I've done a lot of research on that.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now, after
especially
documenting, yeah?
let me just proceed a bit.
Yes.
I'm very glad, Madam Ambassador, for what you are trying to elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of research on cultural values.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk of our cultural values, I just want to just go back to my speech before I could talk much about what you are talking about our cultural values. Let me just start by elaborating my special speech on this meeting today. Let me just start by greeting ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, elders, youth, representatives, UNESCO officials, fellow champions of indigenous knowledge. I just want to say, I know in your area it's around good morning. Here we are.
It's actually morning. It is 11.
It's 11, still morning.
Yeah.
It is both an honor and solemn duty to stand before you today as a Secretary General of the Lukode Society, a custodian movement dedicated to the promotion, protection, and preservation of indigenous knowledge system across Kenya and Africa at large. We gather here today, now just as participants in a forum, but as a protectors of heritage, defenders of wisdom, and a voice for the voiceless, knowledge that has shaped our communities for generations. Indigenous knowledge is a legacy, is a legacy at risk. Our ancestors did not go to universities, but they understood the language of the wind, the science of the stars, the rhythms of rain, and the medicinal powers of leaves. This indigenous science, rooted in observation practices, and spiritually, has safeguarded ecosystem, governed conflict resolutions, preserved biodiversity, and sustained livelihood for cultures for centuries. But today, it is under threat. Modernization, globalization, climate change, and policy neglect have pushed indigenous knowledge to poverty. This is why Lukode Society exists, to bring this knowledge back to the center of our development, identity, and diplomacy. Aligned with the Nagoya Protocol, we recognize the Nagoya Protocol on access and benefit sharing, not as an international treaty, but as a moral compass. As it is heart, the Nagoya Protocol demands equity, consent, and benefit. When researchers, pharmaceuticals companies, or development agencies seek to use traditional knowledge, the communities must be consulted through free, prior, and informed consent. Share in the benefits, whether financial or non-monetary, and be respected as rightful holders of knowledge. Lukade Society is committed to community empowerment, documentation of the indigenous knowledge, and the establishment of fair benefit sharing system that prevent exploitation and restore dignity. UNESCO and the protection of intangible heritage. Our collaboration with UNESCO is rooted in mutual respect for intangible cultural heritage, from songs, proverbs, and rituals to farming techniques, indigenous cuisines, and spiritual ceremonies. Lukode is developing local interventories, engaging elders and youth, and working to transmit this knowledge to the next generation, not as folks, but as a living science and involving identity and a viable tool for sustainable development. Let it be known, indigenous knowledge is not primitive, it is primal. It is not outdated, it is out-silenced. The Lukode vision through this forum and beyond Lukode society aims to establish community knowledge hubs where indigenous knowledge can be preserved and shared. Advocate for local framework that protect indigenous custodians. Work with national and county governments to integrate indigenous knowledge in climate, health, and food system policies. Promote indigenous knowledge entrepreneurship by helping communities turn their wisdom into ethical, value-based businesses. Create a registry of traditional knowledge holders, especially women and elders, to ensure recognition and reward. It is not only a call to action. I call upon government domesticated and enforce the Nagoya Protocol, the development partners to fund indigenous knowledge, preservation, and innovation. Youth to embrace their heritage not as a relic, but as a resource. Elders to continue guiding us with stories, wisdom, and ancestral clarity. UNESCO and global allies to work with us in amplifying indigenous voices across the world. Together, let us light the blue flame of indigenous wisdom in every home, every school, and every policy chamber. In conclusion, I just want to say, asante sana, erokamano ahinya, and let us continue to embrace the policies and the sustainable goals and developments of our heritage. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow,
Erokamana,
wonderful.
erokamana.
Congratulations, wisdom ringing high, Secretary.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So when you talk of cultural heritage, there are the ways, there are the trees, there are the birds, there are the animals which our old people used to see the climate change in our regions. Like today, I can give you an example of the mango tree. When you look the mango trees all over today, it will tell you whether we are going to have rain, whether we are going to have a good harvest. You can see when you see it has got some soft leaves. It will tell you that there's going to be a lot of rain. But when you start seeing a lot of it is not giving a good leaves, it will tell you that there's no rains. The birds, Ugungo, there was a time when you could see those birds flocking to a certain place. The olden people could see these things as there's a start of rain coming. And during the olden days, we have our own traditional seeds, whereby you'll find the grandees, after harvesting, they could store these seeds near the kitchen place where there could be a lot of fire lighting, the cooking place. So these seeds could be placed there like maize for a longer time. Well, now when the seasons come for planting, they will go with them. There was this of the matter of because nowadays when you look at our places in Nyanza and the cultural values, it has been eroded because nowadays our young girls are getting pregnancy due to certain cultural factors and values. Because as Madam, you have said, Ambassador, you have said that we must come and teach our people the language. When you go to some other places, just go to, in Kenya, I can give you an example of Central Place. When you go to Central Province, you will find that even a small child will talk his or her own language, the Kikuyu language. But now, when you come to our country, when you come to our place in Nyanza, you find even the grandmother, Dana, now they are calling Shosho. Shosho is not our language. Our language has been eroded. And now you find that they are calling it Shosho. Shosho is a Kikuyu language meaning old woman. But now with us, we call it Dana. So we must come together, yeah, tell our people, even if we talk a lot of English and all that blah blah, our language is very, very, very important. I know during the olden days, those people who were in school during 70s and part of 80s, we had these storybooks for Luos, like TKK books, and they really help. Yes. So if we come up with Lokode, we must have those abilas whereby we can be teaching our children their own language, because unapata hata mtoto mdogo ukikipenje nito mama hu iluongeninga, he cannot be even able to say his own or her own language. The first thing to learn is to come up with these small books so that even those who are in diaspora, they should talk their language. Look at our Indians. You'll never find an Indian teaching his or her children another language apart from the Indian language. When you go to northern part of Kenya, they talk their language. So we must start with our language. After our language is when we are going to learn some other things, either in our own language or in some other language. Our cultural beliefs and our cultural factors starts with our language. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Wow. What else can we say? That is so wonderful. And that is why it is important, after documenting what you said you have documented, we have to get for forums to teach it. You know, yes. Don't just document and keep it in the shelves. We have to pass it forward, because when a student dies, a library cannot be lost, you know? Yeah, so we have to teach it so that our children and our grandchildren can get it and continue with the same as you have just been talking. So, Ambassador, it's now your time. Philosopher.
Wow, congratulations, Secretary General and UK coordinator. I can see the grandson of God, the Indian master maker in your land. There I can see Jemima Adiambo. That's a lady committed to the traditions knowledge.
Wow.
And we thank we would have been so many, they are coming in, but the network in the system has actually displayed some obstacles to members coming into the meeting. Because even myself, I suffered it.
No, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Today was just the inception. So going forward, we will be having this meeting every Sunday without fail. God bless. Yeah, so they should prepare themselves. Everybody should be set for the meeting. Let us keep on reminding people every day that we have this meeting on Sunday at 5 o'clock so that everybody is set to join the meeting.
God bless. Yeah. Now, back to the meeting. This is the most wonderful forum for our wonderful people in the world, the descendants of the Jewish community in the world. The Jewish were God-chosen people, so we should be proud of it as Luo community, the descendants of the Jewish race. Remember, the Luos are the great people God created us to inject the positive lifestyle of a living being on earth. That being the case, Luo Community Development Union is a registered organization by the government of Kenya. It is registered by the Attorney General's office, so it is recognized by the government of Kenya, so it is recognized in the whole world. Say thank to it.
Thank you.
Now, good community development, Galamoro is an arm of the government of the Luo people. Let's agree that we are going to be the government of the Luo community. We are forgetting that the governments running every countries emanate from the government of the people. That is a policy that the human beings have forgotten in their life and has exposed us to sufferings because there is brokenness communication between the community and the governments of the land. That we need to exploit before others exploit it, so that we become the record holder of making a government of the community, working with the national government and the counties governments and the international governments to develop the Mother Earth with abundant treasures to the communities living there. This is a wind band moving forward to make transformation for the better social lifestyle of the community of the Luo nation worldwide. Let us agree that Lukode will be coming up with a government structure-like system, whereby the Council of Elders will be continuing their protocol to serve the community. And we are having our arbitrator courts at the community level, working with the judicial courts in the nation. That is a structure which has gone out. Now, we are coming up to work together to make a community lifestyle that is not driven politically, but economically. Do we agree that socio-economic driven life is the best life to develop the community? Now, that being the case, we shall be having the spiritual connectors of the Luo people to communicate on behalf of the Luo community to their God who created them, to open for them the light of a great social economic pillar. That what we are saying is this. Today we thank Kenyan government that we have the 2010 Constitution, which emanated the inception of giving socio-economic empowerment from the government to the people. Since the inception of the 2010 constitutional dispensation in Kenya was launched, no community in Kenya has identified themselves categorically with the constitution to make and grow their social economic pillar within them, using their government at the national level and at the county level. We are therefore here to form our own Luo community government based on socio-economic pillar, as you have said it there, and then draw them on papers categorically on different sectors and present them to our county governments in the 4 counties in Kenya, and to our national ministerial departments, so that we get funds from the government or at the national level and the government at the county level, and we developed our identified heritage sites in Luo land. Do we agree on that? This is an insight, remember, that actually connotes with what you have agreed, that we have to adapt research-based socioeconomic activities. We thank God that we are not going to make noises. We are going to make researches and write down various proposals. As I know, Secretary General is very smart on that. Our UK coordinator, Ambassador Madam Owini, is very smart in that, and the rest are smart in those various sectors. We shall be writing documented concepts that will give the people the power to look like a government of their own, and we write all the development proposals capturing the whole region in Luo Nyanza that will be attracting funds from the county government, from the national governments, from the donor communities, and from the foreign countries and in private investors to come and invest in the Luo region to make it a state of its own economic pillar. Do you see that line? That means again, we are going to work with every Council of Elders organization in Luo Nyanza, every civil societies in Luo Nyanza, every self-help groups in Luo Nyanza, every business community groups in Luo Nyanza, and every professionals and religious organizations to pump in one knowledge based on traditional knowledge, development growth. Members, let me brief you a bit that in the year 2023, United Nations designed a concept called social and solidarity economy agenda. This is that the new community development are based their secret weapon on, and we are categorically recognized by the United Nations. The way the Secretary General has mentioned it there earlier, when he was mentioning UNESCO, he was mentioning Nagoya. Apart from UNESCO and Nagoya, we have United Nations declarations on rights of indigenous people. Those are our secret weapons that they have been documented to help our initiatives to be legally based from the local to international. Away from that one, the Constitution of Kenya and the laws of Kenya gives us the power to bring together the county governments and share with them our economic blueprint that we are going to write down as we continue interacting, so that they release funds to us with our specific identified economic ventures. One of them is that all the heritage sites in Luo land are going to be managed and administered by this Lukode Community Development Union as the community manpower on economic growth. Lake Victoria is going to be under our control, and we are going to come up with the blueprint economic development for the benefits of the community that are going to be followed by the county governments and the national governments. There, let me stop a bit together.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are following.
Any question?
Wow, that's so great.
Thanks a lot.
Please unmute yourself. Ambassador, please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Ambassador, you are talking. Please unmute yourself. Click on your mic and unmute. I think you touched on it by mistake. We are not hearing what you're saying. Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I was saying, members, we are in the meeting here today as Luo Community Development Union members and executive office with our partners, Global Alliance on Sustainable Education. We are going to incorporate all other Luo community socioeconomic organizations all over the country, all over the world. And we are going to set up a collective platform to digest socioeconomic policies required to be reformed and transformed by our government, and also to check into our local laws how we can use them to bring to us, the national government of Kenya and the national government and the county's government of Kenya, to work with us in our perspective socioeconomic policy based on the United Nations and Africa Union protocols of social and solidarity economy blueprint agenda. That is our secret weapon upon which these organizations are going to look for financing with immediate effect, because the national law of Kenya and the Constitution of Kenya allows the government of Kenya to give to local community development organization funds to fund their identified social, cultural, economic development areas that we are going to write down in our social structural policy concept paper. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Now, based on that, one, we are going to use this forum also to come up with a way to protect our wealth, because the history of the Luo community of this country has reached a point that other communities are nowadays seen as people, as powerless people who are not organized, people who are only bright, as you have mentioned earlier, members, but economically and socially, they are broken, they are disjointed. This is the same we want to demonstrate that we are not disjointed. Remember this, we may have been disjointed by from the system plans, but now because you people, you are awoken, all those disjointments sources, you are going to close. And that's why we are here. We are going to close them. Politics cannot be eaten. Politics cannot take us anywhere. Since 1963, we have been in politics, and people have gone to back to be the poorest and most stupid looking people. We don't want our children to inherit that stupidity. We want our children to inherit brilliancy and spiritual fitness from our community, because the Constitution allows. That being the case, allow me to mention this way. We have a long way to go. Can we agree in the next meeting, our members to identify all our heritage sites that can be marked to attract tourists to our region, to bring income and create employment to our youths and women in our region? Can we agree, our members, to identify all heritage sites that must have been existing in Luo region, so that we write a concept using them to present to our county government for financing those projects, and to present our national ministerial departments to also to release finances to those projects, and to present them to our international donor nations and friends and investors to present those funds for those projects. That is where we have the secret of manpower to attract money very fast without stress. Second, budget was read just the other day in Kenya. We have Secretary General who is very capable in writing concepts, and our UK coordinator, Dr. Ambassador Owin, is very smart in writing the concepts. Can we agree, after identifying all those meeting sites, we also identify the forests, as you members had mentioned there, which forests exist in Luo Nyanza, which lakes exist in Luo Nyanza, which rivers, big ones, exist in Luo Nyanza, and which dams exist in Luo Nyanza, as related to ecosystem for preservation and protection, and also designing economic investments that could be netted around those sites, beneficial to Luo Community Development Union members and the community in general, so that we present those papers also to our county governments, departments relevant, and to national governments, departments, ministries relevant, donors and foreign investors and the governments, to help us finance those projects. There is money ready for those such projects, that they are just lying there without those sources being initiated. Those are the responsibilities that we want to undertake as Luo community development. Once we start them from Kenya, we shall use the same instrument to reach our brothers in Uganda, in Sudan, in Tanzania, in Ghana, in Nigeria, to do the same, so that all Luo generations in Africa to have socioeconomic manpower that can sustain them in anything they want, even if it is now politics. They can now take every government very easily all over the continent. Are we seeing those opportunities? Then our international coordinators to identify hotels, sectors, we need some items that can be gotten from Kenya and Africa, so that we solicit them and give and present to our diaspora members to market, to sell them there in dollars and in sterling pounds, and bring back the money to develop our region. Are we seeing that opportunity? This is why we are connecting with our foreign diaspora members, so that we also give them those opportunities from Africa back there, and from there back to Africa, so that we live in a network, complete network lifestyle based in promoting and building our social and solidarity economic agenda to grow us and give us power. May I stop and hear from you now?
Yeah. Wycliffe, you want to carry on the discussion?
No, what I would want to say is just to thank those that have spoken for the very good ideas.
Thanks, sweetly.
That can really help our local community. Just as you said, we are very bright people. When you come back to where we live, we are very poor. Not because we don't have natural resources, but those resources. But it's just because those resources are not tapped, but they can also help us. I can see that.
Yes.
What you have suggested, if we can name, you can help us. Those ideas are so that we learn them out here. And really, because actually we have sites, historical sites, which are very many.
Yeah.
And that Lake Victoria that we have is a big natural resource, and it's even better than what other communities have, like coffee and water.
Correct.
If
Correct.
well,
Correct.
we can really get assisted because from water from the lake we can use it for irrigation, and those ones can also use sites.
Yes.
I would say that recently we had the Badaraka Day in Homa Bay, where which attracted so many people all over Kenya. Some came from other countries as well. But we are nowhere to take them to see. Things are there. Those historical sites are there. We have one Rohingya. We have the shrines of the late Gorma my grandfather.
Correct.
Lying idle there. Nothing is put there. But what I was saying that if we go there, what can we see? I would say that if we can make use of such things, then we can really help our community. It will attract investors. It will also help us build roads going to such places, so that actually even the counties could see that actually if we make roads going to such places, then actually they can also get some resources. We can help them.
Very good. Very good.
I'm very happy, and this is my first time to join this meeting, and I've seen that you have very good ideas that can really help our local. We are not poorly off, not badly off.
Very good. By the way, thank you very much, Elder Ogada Gore, for mentioning Gore's heritage site. Actually, it is one to be the one listed Gor Mahia. Yes. Now, this Gor Mahia, as we are with you here, Elder Ogada, let me put it to you this way, that this union will actually put Gor Mahia was heritage site as one of the targeted site, because we are with you here. And how the way it will be addressed in our development concept is this: all the heritage sites, once shared to the community, which is the Luo Community Union, and it is developed, there is share cake to the landowners in that place. Now, for instance, your family and your family owning and
In that case, Daktari.
yes.
In that case, Daktari, can I just add something there? Yeah,
Please
when
proceed.
you talk of sharing the cake, why we have that prior consent,
Yes.
which was discussed in with the UNESCO protocols and the Nagoya protocols. For example,
Yes.
right now, what is happening in our country? Whenever you travel all over Nyanza, there are some other places whereby gold now is being mined.
Correct.
And the way those people are doing those things, that's why we are coming in with the government, the national government, the community.
Yes.
Who is the community? Yes. In this case, in every there's somebody called the attorney. The attorney is the person in charge of advising the national government on natural resources. All other ethics and all these other things are being done in the office of the attorney. He's the head of chief advisor of the county government. Now, when you talk of our resources and our natural resources, we call it in Luo Gikeni, Mwandma Uokelo. You find, like now when you go to Ramula, there's gold there. Are the community benefiting from this?
No.
Go to Siaya, in Ndere, there are so many places, like Kanyaboli, there are so many places. Now, what we want to do as Lokode, we want to document all these places. Let us come to prayer consent with the community. Let us come to county government. Let us come to national government, because right now the National Museum of Kenya has initiated what is called as National Product Initiative. Through this National Product Initiative, they are going around the country documenting the natural resources, especially the natural medicine. How our old people were using natural medicine, and now in the area of medicine, you find that there are a lot of people who are being neglected. We have the traditional. Where are they? Are they on board? We have these bone setters. Where are they? The spiritual leaders, the spiritual healers. Where are they? All these people, we need to document them in each and every sub county. And I think now you have the task now to come on board and start doing this. As we conclude, I think now our time is just running. I'll just leave it a bit for a minute, you continue. But what we must do, we must document our natural resources. Counter the national government, counter the county government, and the corporate social responsibility. The community. Who is the community? Now, when you talk with most of the attorneys down there, they will tell you, they'll define who is a community. A community is a very, very important person down there, because his land is being exploited, his land is being taken away, no compensation, there's nothing is getting there. So these are the people now we want to come together, document them, talk to them, and see exactly what is happening. I'll just leave it a bit as I will come to conclude my remarks. I have my remarks here. I will just conclude as we go. I think we have around 20 minutes to go. But I just want to say asante sana, because what we have started, the journey has just started, and it should not stop from here. It should continue. And all members can come on board. There's nothing we can do without sustainability, economical sustainability. What is keeping our people now is social,
economical sustainability. Our people, our wazee who have gone to retire, they have gone empty-handed. What are they doing there? There are so many big, small, large group of wazee. When you go to shopping centers, you find that they depend from our people from diaspora. That's why we want to come with socio-economical empowerment within the wards, within the constituency, within the counties, within our area, within our region, so that our people will be empowered. Today, as I talk to you right now, most of our people within Kisumu, the hotels in Kisumu, are getting their chicken from the Kalenjin areas. Where are our people? Why can we empower them? What can be done? The county government is there. We have a lot of NGOs within our region. Are they empowering us? What are they doing? For example, in my county, CI, where I come from, we have around 25 NGOs, but we are not seeing what they are doing. We don't know what they are doing. And that's why you have seen now the economical perspective view of the whole world is now changing. You can see what Trump did. Immediately he came to power, there's something he saw, because there was so much misuse of funds which were not going to people to empower people. They were going direct to some other people's pockets. And that's why you see he abolished some other agencies within the whole world. And it's really affected some of the economies of the world. Now, as Lukode, we must see far. We must be so much accurate discussing with international development partners, researchers, economical partners, financiers, and all these people. Companies making foods, making so many things. I was talking to Dr. Makadu the other day when we met in town, and I was telling him that we have a lot of their potatoes, the sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes have got a lot of value chain in it. It can be made porridge, it can be made flour. We can do a value chain analysis on that. And that one can make our people within Kabon area to have a lot of money. What is killing us today so early is poor arrangements of social economical planning. And I want to conclude by saying that let us start it, and let us move, and let us be together, and let us look for resources. I think Makadul knows me very well. When we sit down and we start looking for money, I think we can discuss a lot, and we can bring a lot of money in Lukode. And Lukode will be far. We want to see offices being open, even in the international diaspora. Thank you very much as I wait to conclude my closing remarks. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. And so it is important for us to continue discussing, even with our friends who are not in this meeting. How can we ensure that our cultural practices are preserved and passed on to the future generations? What role can the youth play in revitalizing and modernizing our indigenous knowledge systems? And how can the Luo community lead Africa, not Kenya only, in integrating traditional knowledge into formal education and sustainability efforts? For example, Kenya has focused on the Maasai when it comes to dressing. So when somebody sees somebody with Maasai dressing, they conclude it's Kenyan. How can we change that narrative so that now we come on top of the Maasai? Now, let this meeting not end with talk only. Let it spark community projects, intergenerational mentorship, documentation, as we've said, of oral history, Let us go out and record. Let our young people help us record some history given to them by the adults, youth initiatives and collaboration between elders, educators, and global allies. And when it comes to socioeconomic sustainability, right now there is a lot of money online. A lot of money online. Yes. For example, if we purpose today to start, there is a program that calls for only 2,000 shillings. If you have 2,000 shillings, you start your journey of making millions through a community-based initiative, whereby every community member comes in with 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and the system, it is a system set online. It will now be able to help you multiply that money until you all become millionaires. There is another one that is also community-based, where people are coming together to support others, to raise funds, to finish their projects. This is a big one. When you come in, you come with 50,000 Kenyan shillings, and in the process, you join the community, you start learning how it works. It is a system. It is automated. When you reach a certain point, you start withdrawing money. And when you get to a certain level, you get a check of 3.5 million Kenyan shillings. What can't we do with this kind of money? So there are many things that we can train one another. There are many things that we can do together. There are many, let me tell you, there is money online. In the Western countries, now people have stopped working so hard. People are just working from their houses online, making money online. So
we say, madam, now we don't work hard, we work smart.
yeah, we work smart. Yes, we make money online. Yeah, there is so much we can do together.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, that being the case, members, may I request you to record this, that Lukode Union is started under the constitutional Article 44 and Article 27 and Article 53 of the Kenya Constitution. So this union is constitutionally instituted. So that's why it is like a government. If it will keep off, we shall be like a government at the devolved level of the community. Second, we are permitted to operate under the Kenya laws of the land, where we are going to write proposal concept that Secretary General will do it very well, and Ambassador Owing, how we are going to make the 4 counties in Nyanza. We bring them in a meeting, our governors, the 4 governors in Nyanza, we bring them on board in a meeting that we want them, that this recent budget, they contribute equal amount of shares that would amount to not less than 1 billion from their reserve fund to establish a bank initiated by the 4 counties of the Luo region and the Luo community members and companies in Luo Nyanza, to form a bank run by ourselves. Why? Once we make our county government consolidate the formation of this bank, we shall start having the most simplest way of sourcing money to our Luo people without asking for sureties, without asking for anything, and a big process. That is how we are going to surprise the world. But they will not know. They will not know as to why we have formed such a bank. That is the law. That is the law of the land. So may I stop it? We have a law. May I stop it from there? Because I think time is not on our side. Secretary. Secretary, are you there? I think time has come. Time is not on our side. Hello, member?
Yes, we are waiting for the secretary to conclude the meeting.
Fine.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a very good and interesting meeting. As we draw closer, I just want to say asante sana, erokamano, nyasaye ugwedhu maber itu, uchunko duseche duto, mondulos gik moko duto te madwarore. I just want to take this opportunity to give thanks and closing remarks aligned with the Lokode Society mission for development and sustainability, suitable for use by Dr. Andra Sewe at the conclusion of an official forum on this gathering. My closing remarks as the Secretary General, Lokode Society Forum on Indigenous Knowledge, Development and Economical Sustainability. My distinguished guests, fellows, leaders, community members, and the development partners, as we draw this important gathering to a close, allow me on behalf of the Lokode Society to express our deepest gratitude to each and every one of you who has shared your insights, your stories, your research, and most importantly, your commitment to preserving our indigenous knowledge systems for sustainable development. Today, we have not just exchanged ideas, we have planted seeds of golden, today we have not just exchanged ideas, we have planted seeds of solidarity, of sovereignty, of sustainability. We have confirmed that development without identity is displaced, and that sustainability without indigenous wisdom is short-lived. Look at the society commitments going forward. As we depart from this forum, Lokode Society reaffirms its commitment to champion community-led development rooted in traditional knowledge and participatory practices, sustainability, livelihood, through innovation in agriculture, health, and natural resources management, environmental stewardship, drawing from indigenous conservation ethics, cultural sustainability, where local languages, practices, and wisdom are not forgotten, but forfeited and formalized. Your empowerment by branding ancient knowledge with modern tools, ensuring that tradition meets innovation. A call for collaboration. True sustainability demands shared responsibility. The path ahead is not for Lokode Society alone. It is for all of us. To policymakers, let us integrate indigenous knowledge into national development plans. To academia and researchers, let us cooperate, create, and cooperate together with no extract. To donors and global partners, let us fund what communities define as development. We have
We have been cheated with the development for long, and we have not realized what is known as development. We are calling all our attorneys in all the counties of Nyanza and international diaspora to come and define for us what is known as community. Who is this community? To local communities, let us organize, document, and defend our cultural wealth with pride. To the youth, let us rise not as imitators of the West, but as innovators of our own African wisdom. In conclusion, let this not be the end, but the beginning. Let this not be a moment, but a movement. Let us not leave this place with one shared understanding that the future of Africa is not only in the digital cloud, it is also in the ancestral soil, not only an artificial intelligence, but in ancestral intelligence. The Local society will continue to stand firm as a bridge between tradition, transformation as a voice for the voiceless, knowledge keepers, and a vehicle for inclusivity, indigenous-driven sustainability. May we all work forward together with purpose, with unity, with the wisdom of our roots guiding our steps. Thank you. Asanteni sana. Erokamano.
Oh, erokamano, erokamano.
Sustainable future. Asante, erokamano.
Erokamano.
And the aluta continua.
Aluta continua.
Yes. Now that we started with the word of prayer, can we just end with the word of prayer?
You can pray for us.
Yeah.
I just prayed the Lord. Let me just play in our language so that we portray our traditional language as we speak.
Okay.
Oh, Jehovah Rutasai, ma piny mangima, waduoko ni erokamano Ruoth, ing'uona iber Jehova, teko gi loch en mari Nyasaye. Neno kiketo nyithindi iriwo gi tung' piny Jehova. Chieng' moro achiel kane iwuoyo kod nyithindi e thim Nyasaye, ni chiko Musa Jehova mondo chok ogandani karachiel mondo tergi e piny mar Kanaan Nyasaye. Ruoth misango jaler, nyithindi ochokore odiochieng' ma kawuono, gibiro kod weche makare Jehova. Neno ka giwuoyo, iponde dier lew ng'ato ng'ato Jehova. Nyithindi moko owinjo weche kata moko otudore kodwa Jehova. Imed rito gi Jehova. Jumapil machielo kwachak wanong'o thuolo machal gi ma mwachak waromo Ruoth, wanaduok ni erokamano. Akwai mondo ikony nyathiwa ma tiere ambassador Queen Jehova kete kare. Dr. Swa Odhiambo makaduol be iket kare Jehova. An maber losen Jehova ikita kare Jehova. To moloyo iparwa Jehova, imedwa ndalo kaka nimede e Kenya Nyasaye. Kituma mago duto wanaduok ni erokamano. Itelno edong' noche merito itawa Nyasaye. Weche ma pod odong' wabiro wacho kon karachiel e nying Yesu mwarawa. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. You are blessed. Otino, Richard is just joining us. Richard, how are you? Nice to see you.
I'm good. Fine.
Yeah, we are going to share. We are going to share the recording so that you listen. And
Yes.
yeah, please follow. You are allowed to make comments on the recording, because I'll put it on my YouTube channel so people can go there and and
It's okay.
Yeah, find it there. So share this with all the Luos in the world. Yeah, thank you so much. So goodbye. Yeah, so we are having our Gase meeting at 12:30. That is 7:30 Kenyan time. Please, if you are free at that time, why not come and learn with us?
Welcome. We are welcome.
Erokamano.
You too will be blessed, and the rest.
The same link. It is the same link. Just come back using the same link.
Right.
Okay.